national minimum wage bill next week. NDLEA intercepts fresh codeine shipments at Onne Port, River State. And on the foreign scene, global IT outage grounds flights, banks, and others. I'm Ifechukwumo in the news. Now, the National Assembly will get an executive bill on the new national minimum wage on Tuesday. It followed an agreement between President Bola Tinubu and Labour leaders on higher wages for workers. On Thursday, the Minister of Information, Mohammed Idris, said the federal government and the leadership of organized labor have agreed on 70,000 naira's new minimum wage for Nigerian workers. President of the Nigerian Labour Congress NLC Joe Ajero, his Trade Union Congress TUC counterpart Festus Osifo, Labour Minister Nkiruka Onyejocha, and other officials from both sides flanked the Minister as he addressed newsmen. The minister said the agreement was reached at a meeting between President Bola Tinubu and the leaders of the Nigeria Labour Congress NLC and the Trade Union Congress TUC in Abuja.
The new national minimum wage that we expect Mr. President to submit to the National Assembly for legislation is 70,000 naira. But that is not all. There is also a boost, like Mr. President has assured, and ensuring that massive investment is going to be made in the area of infrastructure. There is also a deepening of the investment of the federal government in renewable energy. More money is going to go into the acquisition of more buses, the CNG buses.
The Labour Minister also spoke.
The review of this minimum wage policy has to be reduced to 3 years. That is, 5 years is too long a time to get any minimum wage review. That's not very wealthy.
The NLC President and TUC President responded to this.
We are taking this with mixed feeling because of the situation of the economy. But we have to move ahead, despite the situation, and the negotiation can linger, coming from 62 to 70, and then with the promise that we'll come back soon to negotiate it. We are taking it back to our constituency.
The next review will be 3 years, and after that pronouncement, we from Labour, just has been said that, well, we have received what the President has promised.
Meanwhile, the Director General of Michael Imodu Institute of National Labour Studies, Isa Aremu, analyzed this development.
A worker who moves from 30,000 to earn 70, we know that there's an improvement in pay. And if you also do adjustment along the line, as will be done through the process of collective bargaining, that's important. Then, two important issues we should also raise about that is that this negotiation, as I've told you, is about compromises. Because organized labor also knows that organized labor is very conscious of the fact that as you improve wages, you should also retain jobs. So you also don't price labor out of the market. So we also need outcome such as this, that we make some employers labor to retain workers.
Some Port Harcourt residents also reacted to this.
The minimum wage, 70,000. I just so much thank God that Labour have come to the reality of the fact that all of us have been adding our voices that they should come to the reality and not illusion of the amount that they have been calling of 250,000. So the 70,000 is a good one.
What can 70,000 fetch somebody in Nigeria? Is it house rent? You check house rent now, they have increased. This 70,000 they add minimum wage. Compared to the way things are going now in markets, the 70,000 is too small. The most important thing, they try and bring price of things down. So if they bring price of things down, the 7,000 is okay.
I think we can move forward as a Nigeria and face what is facing us.
Now, Rivers State Governor Siminalayi Fubara has denied proposing an 80,000 naira minimum wage to workers. In a statement signed by the Chief Press Secretary to the Governor, Nelson Chukwuma, the Governor said the report circulating online is false and misleading. He urged the general public, especially civil servants, to ignore the report. The statement assured that the state government will make public its position on the new minimum wage in due course. In another development, Governor Siminalayi Fubara has charged the National Assembly to make laws that can stand the test of time. Governor Fubara said this when he hosted A delegation of the National Assembly Joint Committee on Electoral Matters, led by its chairman Sharafuddin Abiodun and co-chair Adebayo Balogu, at the Government House in Port Harcourt. The governor said any legislation that is not for the good of the majority of Nigerians is misplaced.
Legislate in such a way, a manner, knowing fully well that tomorrow you will also sit here. So you're not doing it because you're on the other side. So you're doing it, maybe let it be at the disadvantage of the people sitting here. Do your legislation in such a way, a manner that when you sit here, those laws that are done can also apply to you. And you sit and say, yes, I did the right thing.
The governor assured the lawmakers that Rivers State will implement the report of the committee whenever it is ready.
I'm happy that we're doing this at this time. I'm not just doing this, but taking the most critical aspect of the election, women, and adding election matters in difficult terrain, which happen to be associated with the rivers, Bayelsa, Delta, Ondo, all those areas where for you to navigate to those locations, so it takes you 2 days. So I want to assure you that whatever recommendation that will come after your program, River State will be one of the states that will implement it.
Moving on, some motorists are calling for the change of contractors handling the construction of various sections of the East-West Road. It followed increasing complaints over the amount of man-hours wasted while using the road due to traffic gridlock.
Seriously, the government need to do something about the road. The people they contracted the road to. See, 4 days on the road. From this road now, they get money, they train my people. Something is ending.
A lot of drivers on the axis of the East-West Road trying to cross to Bayelsa.
If then they do road, they foresee the road now. No road, I see where then they walk here. Julius Becker, that is almost, can't you see? The spring seed like this. They are not working any road there. They are just using it for police, I believe so. Imagine somebody that is also Bayelsa will spend 3 days on the road. Just from Port Harcourt to Yamaye. We are 3 days now. The state of them handle it by themselves. And forget about the federal government. The government will refuse the only thing that can help the government forget about it.
In a related development, some indigenes of Ola Okobo, Iduebe and Okobe communities in the West Governor area of River State are appealing to early address the worseness of the told correspondent that motorists now pass through the roads, alternative routes to the deplorable part of Orashi section of the East-West Road.
The roads are already spoiled. So the government linking to Obe. The linking road, they should also fix it because already the road is getting bad.
I have a call of the state governor to help us do our road. So in case of such occurrence, they can use access and go.
Our correspondent who visited the area reports that scores of youth from the communities engaged in remedial works on failed portions of the link road. Heavy-duty vehicles are used for talk.
Help us, state government. Make them help us do Oyiba. Is do another road. If link road dey, even the express spoil, they go fit bus to Bayelsa. Most of this motor now where they pass now because of East-West Road don't spoil. Central can not fit do the road for us. Now make them they pass here. So now we with the hair drivers, they buy hardcore, they pump for the road so that they go fit the pass.
Still to come, NDLEA intercepts fresh codeine shipments at Onne Port, River State. Stay with us.
Kanako!
This is the news on 92.3 Nigeria Info.
You're welcome back, and now the rest of the news. The Chief Judge of Rivers State, Justice Simeon Ahmad, said of judges of the High Court of the state, who for High Court of Rivers Civil Procedure to the High Court shall remain closed during vacation at no course shall resume Wednesday, 18th September 2024. The statement also said that any urgent matter filed during the vacation shall be entertained by any of the vacation judges appointed by the Chief Judge. Elsewhere, the Court of Appeal in Abuja has dismissed an appeal by the suspended Deputy Commissioner of Police, Abba Kyari, seeking to quash the drug trafficking charge filed against him. In a judgment on Thursday, a 3-member panel of the appellate court dismissed Mr. Kyari's appeal for lacking merit. Justice Adebukola Banjoko, who read the lead judgment, held that there was no reason to tamper with the findings and conclusions reached on March 2nd. Meanwhile, operatives of the National Drug Law Enforcement Agency, NDLEA, have intercepted another batch of 7 containers bearing over 1 million bottles of codeine syrup worth 9.8 billion naira at the Onne port. It comes barely 3 weeks after seizing 6,125 cartons of the same product containing 1,050,000 bottles worth 7.35 billion naira at the same port. A statement by the Director, Media and Advocacy NDLEA Headquarters, Abuja, Femi Babafemi, said the seizure made yesterday is the fourth and last set of such consignments that have been under the watch list of the agency's Maritime Special Operations Unit targeting team. In business, the Central Bank of Nigeria (CBN) has projected that Nigeria's external reserves could reduce slightly in 2024. This was disclosed in a macroeconomic outlook price discovery for economic stabilization report. Now, the Apex Bank attributed the projection to debt service and other obligations. In entertainment, Nollywood veteran Kate Henshaw is 53 years old today and has taken to social media to celebrate the joyous occasion. In sports, West Ham are in talks to sign French midfielder N'Golo Kante from Saudi Pro League club Al Ittihad in a deal which could cost £20 million. And on the international scene, major IT outages are hitting industries across the world, with airlines, banking, shops and healthcare affected. Cybersecurity firm CrowdStrike says a defect in one of its software updates hit Windows operating system. The firm says the incident is not a security incident or cyber attack. It also says the issue has been identified, isolated, and a fix has been deployed. Now, that's happened in the news this afternoon. Before we go, let's have a look at the major stories. Governor Fubara has denied promising an 80,000 naira minimum wage for Rivers workers. The National Assembly will get the new national minimum wage bill next week. And the LEA has intercepted another fresh codeine shipment at Onne Port, Rivers State. And on the foreign scene, major IT outages are hitting industries across the world, with airlines, banking, shops, and healthcare affected. The news was edited by Martha Okeri-Nkem. To reach the news team, send an SMS or WhatsApp to 0808-721-7215. I'm Ifechukwu Monyele. Many thanks for listening.